big perch, over 40 centimeter, 100 fish mark here. Fish number 99. Yes. Wow, what a beautiful fish. Fish number 99, worth to remember. So, we'll let her go. Don't we just love this perch fishing here? Not over. I would be surprised. But what a bite, what a hit. It just might be though. We better just check this fish. This could be fish number 100. I think this is fish number 100. This is just on the edge. Whew. It's beautiful in the colors. So let's see what it can do. Just a second here. This could be fish number 100, but I'm not sure. It looks right on the edge, but beautiful colors. Let's have a look here. Are we ready? Ooh. On the board. And we are at 41. Woo! Fish number 100 on the board. That was so challenging. All right, guys, today was a great day. We managed to catch 2, and one of them was really big, 48 centimeter plus and 2,150 gram. Amazing fish. And the last fish we just caught now was a 42, just a perfect perch. We released it and it feels great. We've just landed fish number 100, over 40 centimeter. Guys, all in all, what a fantastic journey we just took. About 90 days with a lot of short 1 to 2 hour trips, and about 3,000 perch in total, and today I landed toad number 100. Yes! Perch are unpredictable, but that's what makes it so interesting to fish for them. They are really super unpredictable. So we started off the challenge in the end of September and early October. And this fall, in the fall of 2020, the temperature was quite high. So my perch fishing started relatively late. And one thing I found really fast was that the new fat tailspin was a fantastic search lure and a fantastic lure to get the bigger perch to react. So I started out by catching a lot of the first nice fish on the fat tailspin. And then normally I would start to go to my go-to lures, which is the fat T-tail on a jig head, the bleak, 3D bleak on a jig head, and our new craft cannibal. So these 3 shads that have different movement pattern due to the different tails would normally be my go-to lures when the water got a little colder. Coming back to one of the good old favorites, it's a quite old lure from Savage Gear. It's the ripworm. So this ripworm looks just like a ragworm or a leech in the water. And on the really difficult days, we would crawl this over the bottom on our little local Carolina rig. It's a little special rig that we have. I'll show you in a minute. But the ripworm just turned out to catch a few monsters on the absolute difficult days. The last lure I'd like to show you is the VIB. So the VIB minnow, or the VIB blade, is a lure that I use a lot when we fish on deeper reservoirs and vertical fishing, because it has this amazing swimming action on the fall, and when you lift it, it vibrates and come up in the water, and it actually swims down. So this is a lure that you can also use for ice fishing, but we had really good success with it fishing on one of the big deeper reservoirs, and we caught an absolute smashing fish in the first drop. So that was epic as well. One little tip that I found extremely effective is to use our new craft dying minnow, this tiny little detailed minnow that I put on the rear treble. It just gives it this cool swimming action, an extra little kick in the water. So this lure also saved the day on a few of the more difficult days actually. I hooked up with one of our new young pro staffers, Elias Zachariasen from Malmö in Sweden, and we had a quite historic session where we fished with our new Gravity Twitch. And that session was just epic because Elias started with a Gravity Twitch and he would catch something like 20 fish before I even had a bite on the tailspin. And I had to give in and change to the Gravity Twitch, and oh my god, did we catch a lot of big perch. So quite fast I realized that we have one hell of a search bait and a reaction strike bait in the Gravity Twitch. So during the mid-October we just realized that on every single trip when we used the Gravity Twitch, we would catch bigger fish than the other anglers, and we would also catch more. I had several days with 100+ fish on the Gravity Twitch and some really big fish within. Cannot tell you 100% what it is about this lure that makes it so outstanding for the big perch, but it has a magnetic long cast system, and it has a tubular rattle chamber in the back, so it makes this very distinct clicking sound. And the way it's constructed with the iron core that runs down here and then is grabbed by the magnet when you twitch it, it absolutely stands still in the water. And when you look how far this lure travels from side to side on the twitch, you're quite amazed that it actually jumps up to 1/2 meter from side to side. And then combined with this completely still suspending motion in the water, the big perch, they just seem to hammer this thing. And the problem is, once you start fishing with the Gravity Twitch, it's like an addiction. It's really hard to change back to other lures because it's so darn effective. Very often happens when you're fishing these twitch baits is that you attract a school or a flock of fish that follows the lure, and they might not take it on the first 2 or 3 casts, but then they will sit right in front of you and be in the area. So make sure that you twitch it all the way to the rod tip, and sometimes don't twitch too fast. It's all about the pickup on the reel so that the bait stays in the strike zone for a long time. I'll show you that in a minute. Sometimes they follow the bait all the way to the rod tip. So when I feel I have something that just pushes the bait or hits it, I just make a little spin stop and then let it sit there because it suspends perfectly horizontal, and then I twitch it again, and very often, boom, that's when they hit it. Right there, just like we talked about it. It just hit it right in front of me, as you saw. Made that little spin stop, and kaboom. So, that's what twitching is all about. That just proved this technique. Incredible effective. Gravity Twitch. Some days I fish them quite aggressively, and other days I kind of lean into it a little bit softer. Like that. And you find the rhythm for the day that seems to produce the most fish. And I make this technique here, as you can see, I call it 1-2. 1-2. 1-2. Like that. And I found that this pitch here, 1-2, stop, 1-2, stop, 1-2, stop, is what gets them, really gets the bigger ones going. I've tried all sorts of different pitches, 1-2-3, even 1-2-3-4, but it's always this 1-2, and then very often they hit it on that spin stop. Basically the lure shoots out to the side from the center line. If I twitch down towards the surface, he tends to come up in the water. If I lift the rod a little bit, he will dive a little bit. So it's a super effective way to get these bigger fish to attack. And we found several ways of tuning it to work just like 5-10 centimeters deeper in the water. And very soon we found out there was a certain reaction strike pattern to what colors we would use under different circumstances. I've had amazing fishing with the very realistic colors, the dirty roach and the roach color, when the water was a little bit warmer. But on a cold day like today, where the water seems a little bit milky, the chrome colors have been really well. The blue chrome and the chrome IU has produced incredibly well. So I'm just going to give it a few throws with these different colors, and I'm going to change. I think the dirty roach color might be my choice next. So guys, when it comes to the last meter accessories, the busy end here, I can just say that I'm using the 100% soft fluorocarbon, simply because it's soft and subtle and it just enhances the swimming action of the lures. It has a really high knot strength and it's super easy to tie to your swivels and to your snaps and directly to your lures. And I use basically very few accessories. I use the needle snaps here with and without the swivel. And I use these small swivels here to make my Carolina rigs and Texas rigs. So super simple, actually. Very little selection of accessories that I have for my perch fishing. I promised you guys to get back to the color selection. I just wanted to show you how things changed dramatically during the month of November. In all of October, we were fishing quite clear water on the top of the weed beds, and the roach color, the real roach color, and the dirty roach color, especially the dirty roach color with this golden naturalistic shine and slight orange belly here, turned out to be the #1 lure for catching the bigger perch in basically all of October and the beginning of November. On certain days, the roach color would take over. There was a lot of bait fish in the water. But then something happened, something very interesting. As the water temperature dropped, we were around 7, 8 degrees. All of a sudden, the bites on these natural colors started to slow down. And I changed to my chrome color. So these are really chrome colors. This is not hot stamp. The IO chrome and the blue silver chrome here. We started with IO chrome as the water temperature dropped, and we saw a dramatic change in what color patterns that the bigger perch would hit. So we started to catch a lot of big fish on the chrome, whereas the naturalistic patterns would slowly die off. And the last one I put on was the blue chrome. As temperature was around 5 degrees, things began to happen. I can tell you guys, I wouldn't even leave home without that blue chrome color, because certain days, if I didn't fish this color, I just wouldn't get a big one. So this turned out to be the absolute best color during the rest of November. And I think you will see on the video that the last 2 really big fish that I land, you can actually see that blue chrome color being hit. So all I can say is, don't leave home without blue chrome when the water is cold. Don't leave home without blue chrome. So guys, this perch challenge was a lot of fun. It was exhausting at times. There was also times where I thought I wouldn't make it, but so much fun. Great to put a little pressure on my fishing. And I got a new challenge coming up. I'm not going to reveal it, but follow this space. Thank you. Bye.